Hey everybody, welcome to So Many Sequels, your book club for Christmas movies. Ho ho ho, I'm Josh.
I'm Garrett.
Jingle all the way, I'm David.
You really should have done the ho ho ho, Garrett, because you got the hat on.
I know.
I
was trying to think of something to go with, and I just couldn't. I wasn't quick enough on my feet this time.
I was trying to find my hat.
For the audio
Realistically.
audience, Garrett's the only one that's got the Christmas anything broken out yet in his
Festive
in
baby.
his set. I need to get mine. Maybe I'll do
wrapping
that.
paper.
I'll do that soon.
Oh, that's nice. That's
what's
good.
on your wrapping paper?
It's a Bluey and Bingo there.
Oh,
guys know
about that little hat
I
on.
know about Bluey and Bingo.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
Bluey. Everybody love Bluey.
Yeah, a lot of grown-ups love Bluey, I hear.
Well,
Well, you know,
Good messages.
parents watch it with the kids, and then they get into
Yeah.
it, and then they're like, "Hey, this Bluey stuff, you should watch it."
Fun little
I
show. Music is very mellow, so
Nice
great
little
listening.
Aussie accent.
Thanks to-
It's always nice.
shout out to Bluey for being one of my Spotify Wrapped top things.
Top artists.
Yeah, they have
Nice.
there's a whole.
Did you get a message from Bluey?
No, that would have been cool though.
Oh man.
No, because I'll put on playlists at night for the kid to go to sleep, and so one of them is a Bluey playlist, which is just all the instrumental music that they play on the show, and it's all very lullaby. So my top genre was lullaby because I'll just play like 30 minutes of lullaby music a night.
You know, I can't
So-
believe they haven't found a way to hit like a kid profile switch for that.
Yes.
To remove those from your.
It would
from
be
your- from
nice
your
because
data.
Jack Black was my top artist.
Was he?
Yes.
Was it
which-
because of Tenacious D stuff or because of the Mario song?
No, it was because of Minecraft and Mario mostly.
Mhm.
Now, I did listen to Tenacious D at some point this year. I can't really listen to that with the little one
Because you
yet.
probably at some point I'm sure you listened to some of the School of Rock soundtrack when we did that.
Yeah, but he's not really on. Well, he's on like there is that they do have the song towards the end that I
I'm
think
sure
you
he's
can
credited
listen to.
on it as Jack Black,
But-
right?
Yeah, but mostly just Lava Chicken
Lava
top
Chicken.
song.
Well, that's a shame. I do not know what that means.
You haven't?
Just
Did you guys
move
never see the
on.
Minecraft
we don't,
movie?
We move on. It's a Minecraft thing. We won't understand. Should he explain? We'll just move on past the chicken.
I don't want
Anywho.
to. I don't want to.
Anyways, but let's move on. It's holiday season. It's time. It's our
It
favorite
is.
time of year.
It is. It's time. It's So Many Santa's time here on the show. And we're kicking off things in a big way this week, I think, with
Oh, man.
it's one of the first new movies of the year, I think, movie, TV special, however you want to look at it. We're covering it anyway. You can tell from the title of the episode. It's a very Jonas Christmas here on the show today. I don't know what possessed us to do it really, but we all just kind of jumped in on the Jonas
I
Brothers
think it's
movie.
called #trends, and I think we were trying to ride that lightning.
That's part of it,
Well,
probably.
It started very earnestly. I think I just saw that it was on, and I said, "Hey guys, look at this" or something like that, and then we just landed on let's do it, and so I was not a big Jonas Brothers kid. However,
Yeah, I feel we were talking about that, and I feel like the Jonas Brothers were the generation after us. Like we grew up in the time frame of NSYNC and Backstreet boy bands taking the lead, and I feel like the Jonas Brothers took that mantle after with like I don't know, One Direction. Maybe I feel like they're in the same time frame. I don't know if that's true.
Well, they
or not.
they had their Disney Channel era. I feel like
Yeah.
it was like 2008 to 2015. Maybe that time frame feels
No
right.
idea.
They had a little TV show for a
It was.
while. Yeah.
Nice. I was in high school at this time as the same time you guys were, obviously. I mean,
Yeah.
but this 2009 2008 ish era when they started to blow up. I was a theater kid, and I can tell you that I have some knowledge, some background knowledge with the Jonas Brothers. I was
Excellent.
I attended a Camp Rock premiere party in high school. Where
What
we
is
wa-
that? What is Camp Rock?
You don't know Camp
Oh,
Rock?
you can't rock.
I don't.
Garrett
Listen,
doesn't know
Camp
Camp
Rock.
Rock.
David said that
Camp
he
Rock.
knows little. I know nothing. I know nothing about young Jonas Brothers. I know a little bit more about mature Jonas Brothers as they've released stuff as an adult, because that's better for I was just out of that genre and frame. So I didn't have a younger sister or anything. So I was not connected
All
in
right.
any
Well,
way to the Jonases.
it's Jonas related, so I'll give you the quick spiel, but we won't spend too much time on Camp Rock. Basically, this is kind of what helped them blow up even bigger. They were really starting to get well known as a kid band, I think, and then they got Disneyfied. And Camp Rock is they start with Demi Lovato in it. At the same period of time, Demi Lovato is starting to become a big Disney Channel person, and so she's like coming to Camp Rock, which is a summer camp for kids who play music.
Okay.
And they, learn to be friends and all that shit. But kids loved it.
Nice.
There were parties. I went to a watch party with my theater class.
Love that.
One of them had it at her house, and so we all went and watched Camp Rock. So I know a little bit about the Jonas Brothers, and then surprisingly enough to me, I never would have seen this coming out this way. I don't think I can't remember if I mentioned it to you guys yet or not. But earlier in the fall, I saw the Jonas Brothers in concert.
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh,
I went to see them. I went to see them close for All American Rejects. Is what happened.
Okay.
They were the Joe Bros.
At the BOK?
Yeah.
I remember this now.
Kind of watching tickets last minute thing and not really planning to, and then it happened. And anyway, I wanted to see All American Rejects, ended up seeing both. And so it was a weird full circle moment.
That's awesome. Well,
I know. I enjoyed them more than I thought I would, but I really didn't know a lot of the songs, I have to say. Had a blast at the Rejects show, though. That was good.
So
Back to this movie.
yes, let's.
That's kind of the history of the early Jonas Brothers. They're back to Disney Channel now, I guess, because they're doing
They do whatever
this.
they want.
When I turned the movie on, I'm sure you guys saw it too. There was a commercial for they're doing Camp Rock 3.
Are they? Oh,
Yeah, you
didn't see
didn't
Did not
get
know
that ad?
No.
Yeah, they made me
I
watch
watched
a
it on
Camp Rock 3
Hulu.
ad. Oh.
No, but the Jonas Brothers have had kind of an interesting career. Could have easily just tapered off, but I think they've managed to stay semi-relevant. They've had solo careers spun off. Nick and Joe have had solo work and things like that. But I think one of the reasons I wanted to watch the movie, I watched the trailer and I was like, that looks kind of fun. And the brothers themselves, even though I wasn't like the biggest consumer of their stuff when I was younger, I would see like the commercials for their shows. I would see like an episode might be ending as something else was coming on, that type of thing. And I could tell they had a fun chemistry. And over the years, I saw they would be on, like, I think they were on SNL at least one time. I think they did something with Lonely Island at one point. Like, I could kind of tell that they had a lot of comedy influences, like a Will Ferrell. You could tell that they're Will Ferrell fans. You could tell they like Lonely Island and stuff like that. So, like, this movie's actually pretty funny. To kind of give you a setup, the brothers themselves are sort of at odds with each other. They're a little bit irritated by each other. And one of the weirdest Santas we've had in cinema, played by Jesse Tyler Ferguson from Modern Family,
He was a really weird Santa.
decides to put them on a planes, trains, and automobiles style curse to which they can't get home until they Freaky Friday bond the men's that have been broken.
Yeah.
Like it's and then they just get stuck in Europe trying to get home. And that's sort of your premise, your setup. And it's a very short. It's only like 78 minutes, this movie.
Yeah,
So
this is not a plot-focused forward movie. This is definitely in the setup of like a TV Disney special that would air on ABC back in the day with commercial breaks in between it.
It feels like ABC.
I described it as a home movie with music videos spliced in it.
Yeah, the music videos were interesting because they did feel like music videos when they kind of started. There were a couple moments where it felt like a genuine musical, I think, but yeah. And the song choices were also interesting at times because if you listen to the lyrics and then what was going on in the scene, I was like, this is like he's singing about getting on the last Christmas plane and they're just getting on the train. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, you're not at the plane yet. You have to get to the train and then the plane. You're singing about the plane.
Yeah, the
and then I was surprised when. Anyway, I don't want to keep going about music because.
No, but to your point,
That's what it is.
You're right.
To your point, though, it doesn't feel like there's a couple of instances where they're sort of staged more like a musical.
Yeah.
But the music is so, and Garrett, you're more of a music person, so maybe you can speak to this. But the music to me felt so overproduced. like a lot of tuning and a lot of and it's like, and it just didn't sound natural in the way
No,
that they were.
I
I'm
think that's
sure
how
he-
their sound is, though, to some
Yeah.
extent. You know?
I think the
It's-
overproduced, is part of it.
Yeah.
But also, I
This-
think that it probably is just they're doing it to
Like-
a recorded track, and they're not
Exactly.
doing it like
I mean,
a real
and that's
musical.
their songs that they sing at the beginning and the end, like when they're in concert, and those like they sound fine. I actually was like, those are those are like some of my more favorite songs of the movie. Is like when they're in concert and they're like actually on stage and performing because it sounds right. But when they're in the back of like a Christmas tree truck and they're like, why and it's like all like
Going down the road at 50 miles an hour.
yeah, and it's all auto-tuned to death. A little odd, but
I wasn't, again, as somebody who's not super connected to this, it took me a while to get into it, and I appreciate the Jonas Brothers' humor. I agree that they collectively are funny. They are self-aware enough to know that they're kind of dorky and like nerdy, and people are gonna make fun of the Jonas Brothers, so they beat you to the punch and they present themselves, and they're very self-aware. And so as a collective, I really think that they're a solid group, and I understand why they have such a good fan base. And if you're a super fan, you're gonna love this. For me though, God, it took like 3 or 4 songs to get like into it. Those first few songs, David, on the stage, I'm sure they probably recorded that at a concert. That's probably why it has a nice, sounds kind of recording. But like that first song that they ran into where they're trying to go out and party, I'm on the side of Nick in that moment of like, bro, you're in your 30s and you're a dad, or you're not a dad, but like, no. Don't. This is not the best party. It was weird. I didn't like the way that things started.
Yeah, and they even call that out too. What was the part where he's like, "You're 36"?
Yes. Yeah. And I really appreciated, again, the way that they at least recognized those moments and they brought them in. I also appreciated that they surrounded themselves by solid comedic actors.
I wanted to talk about the cast because I didn't know any of them going into it, and I'm
I
just
had no
watching
idea.
it as the credits are scrolling, and I've got the Letterboxd here pulled up. We've got Chloe Bennett. Haven't seen her
Yes,
forever.
that was such a shocker. I was I was like, Chloe.
and had a great role.
and she gets to sing, I think too.
Yeah,
she got a
she had a
duet with
good
Joe.
she had a good singing point. That was nice.
You got Billy Lord. Love to see her. She was great
It took me a second to recognize
as the
her,
crazy
too.
Travel agent.
travel agent
Or whatever.
trying to deal with her
Yeah.
ex. Laverne Cox as I
Yes.
guess the manager or whatever of the
agent
tour
or- yeah.
agent. Andrew Barth Feldman is a big Broadway star. He played the antagonist to Nick Jonas in the Home Alone musical.
Right.
Randall Park.
Randall
Love
Park,
him.
yeah.
Jesse
my
Tyler
boys, my
Ferguson.
men.
Yes.
Jesse Tyler, yes, as we've said, he was Santa.
And then really finally the last big one was weirdly Will Ferrell, and I think that's
Yeah.
why
And his family.
and his real
His whole
family.
family.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's what took me a little bit to get into the movie because it felt like that the Will Ferrell thing was really forced because it was the first thing we see is Will Ferrell and his family getting ready for the Jonas Brothers concert.
Yeah.
Go to the concert, and then it turns out that Will Ferrell and his family have nothing to do with this movie at all.
Not
Yeah.
really.
They just
Well,
have
and
the opening
I
scene
have-
for some reason. So once you get past that, you're like, okay, it starts to get its plot together.
I mean, it's a funny bit.
It is a funny bit, and that
it's
is
a funny
because
bit.
Will Ferrell is funny. Like
Yeah.
that is just he is just funny. Period, and that is why it works.
But it wasn't good.
I think I was told, and this you guys may know this more than me as more SNL knowledge people, but I feel like that's a reference. I was told that could be a reference to SNL and some bits that he did with the Jonas Brothers, and like really getting excited on SNL when they were like musical guests or something like that. I have no idea if that's true.
I would
That was
have to
just
look
what
into
I
that.
was kind of told could be the case.
I don't know. I think it just works though as a bit of like people recognize Will Ferrell and the
True.
idea that Will Ferrell, who's like way too old to even like be a fan of the Jonas Brothers, is like super into them and
Yeah.
some more into the like, and so much so that
More
he
into
like
them than
he
his family.
disrespects his children in front, like, you know, there's
Right.
a he ends up coming back around at the end because they go back in concert and the Ferrells are still there. He yells up and he goes, "If you were drowning and my children were drowning, I would choose you." And I'm like,
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just a very, it's just a
just
very
goofy.
Will Ferrell bit. And then Jesse Tyler Ferguson, like I said, plays a really weird Santa, where he's like, I can't even really describe it. He's just like, we meet him a couple different
Santa.
times.
He's a little creepy fanboy Santa.
And he's kind of like, well, we'll have to take care of that.
But also, he's a witch.
Yeah.
I was like, did he just hex them?
He did.
Yeah.
He blew up
put
their
a
plane at the
Christmas
airport.
With lightning. Yeah, so it's very silly. But I mean, Josh, you had mentioned this when we first started talking about it before we started recording, though. There's some good lines. Like, the boys are funny.
Yeah,
there's
some funny lines.
They each have Nick and Joe both have these little hallucinations of the other brothers criticizing them, and then there's one where Kevin, he starts hallucinating them, and they're like, "You can't sing. You're terrible. Nobody likes you," or something like that. And Joe goes, "You're so lame. We don't even have to embellish your fantasies about you," or whatever, something like that. And that cracked me and Nikki up.
Yes, and then just the long running bit of Kevin. All he wants to do is ask his brothers for a chance to sing a lead vocal on a song, and that's also just a long running bit in Jonas Brothers fandom. The man doesn't sing in most of their songs, so anytime he sings, it's a big deal. So that they played that out was funny. Yeah, a lot of great bits like that. Nick being like the organized, uptight one. Joe. Every time Joe went, "I love memes," was fantastic. I mean, they get themselves and how they're perceived.
Yeah, no, and I think, it's kind of like I was having a debate with Nikki when we were watching it about. I think that it's kind of a challenge to play a fictionalized version of yourself.
I'm sure
it
is.
You can have some fun with it, but you have to be kind of willing to be a little bit potentially vulnerable about real criticisms people have of you, whether you're playing a group like the Jonas Brothers or you're playing yourself.
Yeah.
And so it makes you think, like, I guess Joe is comfortable with the idea that people think that he's more of like a ladies' man and like non-committal. He must have a pretty
he's out there singing about Cake by the Ocean. Of course he is.
It's true.
Right,
so,
that's the thing is
he's got to have a good sense of humor
for
about
their
that.
level of fame. You got to anyway. But I mean, as much as I disliked the forced romance plot with him and Chloe Bennett, Chloe was great, but I was like, this didn't need to happen. Yeah, they call out. They make it very clear that like Joe's the single one of the group, and that she knows all his messy details. And isn't it weird that people know all of your personal life? They talk about it a little bit.
I think you mentioned it to Josh, but the moment where they're stuck in Amsterdam, which is already kind of there's a funny couple of gags where they're trying to figure out their room situation, and like the lock is a rope and things like that. But when they go to do the Home Alone thing, that was really funny.
Yes, that was my favorite nonsense bit in the movie. Was they see through Instagram that one of Nick's old friends, they're kind of having fallen out, is in town to do an intimate Christmas show, and he has a private jet. Can he fly us back home or to Paris or whatever? They're like, okay, whatever. And Nick's like, fine, we'll go. Gets suckered into joining the show, basically, and doing this duet from a Home Alone, the musical production that they did years ago. That I think the joke was it ran for 3 weeks or something like that. And they have this huge rivalry. Kevin McAllister is, I don't remember his name, Elton or something. Edmund.
I had no idea who that person was to this moment.
Andrew Barth Feldman is the actor. I recognize him from a few things, and I think he was in at least a couple Pitch Perfects. But he
great
does Broadway.
voice.
Yeah, he's a great singer. So he played Kevin McAllister, and then Nick Jonas played his dad. So then they do this horrible but hilarious, over the top, cheesy like ballad song about how I've been left home alone and I never want to be left home alone again. And they did the whole song. It was hilarious.
They did. They did the whole song, and it felt both improvised and choreographed.
It
Like
did
the
almost
way,
feel improvised.
the way that they hated each other and the way that they wanted to interrupt one another and get the last word was really funny. But then as they choreographed like who would take over the next scene and like how they would try to scene steal behind
Yeah.
the other, like that was a really really well done funny bit, and now I want the musical
Yeah,
to
and
go in
I
real life. I
know.
want a real life Home Alone musical with Jonas and this person that I can't remember again.
Yeah, and I like Nick trying to force trying to force it higher and the key higher and higher.
Yes, trying
and
to
the
force Nick
pianist
into the falsetto.
pianist is loving it. He's like, yeah, take him down.
Yeah.
You're my hero.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's really, and from then it's really just a series of
Bits.
unfortunate events and bits
Yeah.
to get home like that. So I don't know. I thought overall it was a pretty cute movie. Is there any other like any call outs you guys want to make from it?
Let me think, because
Oh my God,
They're
I
real
mean,
families.
they're real families. They're
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Priyanka,
Priyanka
like their real
Chopra
families
was in
are in
there.
it.
Priyanka's in there, and that's nice. You know, you get to have that moment with your real family, and your, you know, when you're famous, you get a chance to do something with your family like that. That is Christmas based. I'm sure that's really special to have that moment and something
Right.
that you can go revisit and be a part of a Christmas tradition, you know,
Right.
or something like that. So that's really nice to involve their family like that. That was really sweet. I liked the Uber bit quite a bit. I thought that was hilarious. That the driver is so funny as a comedian and an actress, and she is excellent at being someone's annoying mom and or grandma, but in the most loving kind of annoying, where she has no idea she's being annoying. And so that I found quite funny. But other than that, it was nice, wholesome humor.
It was.
And you don't
It
see
was
a ton of that
wholesome Christmas
done well
humor.
anymore.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, I think overall, like, for what it is, which is a fairly short, sort of streaming exclusive, you know, home movie. I mean, in many ways, it feels like that. But it's, you know, it was inoffensive. It wasn't stupid. It wasn't boring. It didn't overstay its welcome. So I mean, like, I enjoyed myself for the most part, and I got a couple good laughs out of it. The main complaint I have is that unfortunately the Jonas Brothers music is not as good as it could be.
I know the best song, unfortunately, in the movie is the sucker that they play over the credits because it's like their first number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
and it is
sucker.
a missed opportunity on their part to have written some kind of genuine Christmas song, you know?
It would've been nice.
Much less,
Yeah.
like they didn't take that opportunity, and maybe that's not what they wanted to do. Maybe this is what they wanted to do, and that's fine. But yeah, you would think that they would have some kind of like attempt at a real Christmas song.
Yeah, I think the closest is the one that is playing when they're trying to get to the train, which is the one that's featured in which is the one that featured in the trailer. And yeah, but they just don't. I mean, you would think that they would showcase the music better for a project like this. But anyway, I think, I mean, we're circling around here to like final ratings and stuff, but
Yeah,
like
it's Tom.
I can't complain too much.
No.
No.
Well, Garrett, what's your rating? What's your final rating?
Yeah, it was perfectly fine and enjoyable, and as somebody who doesn't really have any kind of relation or care or hat in the ring to trash on or root for the Jonas Brothers, it was perfectly fine. 2.5.
Okay, nice. All right, David.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm gonna give it 3 stars.
Okay.
For mostly the same reasons. I'm just gonna finish. You know, at the end of the day, I finished on a positive note with it, so I just kind of feel like I'll give it that extra half star, just because. You know, if this was on, I wouldn't turn it off.
Wouldn't turn it off. Yeah, I think you guys are in the right spot. I'm gonna go with David with the 3 stars. I thought it was enjoyable. Thought it had some good laughs. Could have been a little more. Could have been a little more meta. It could have been a little more Christmas.
You know,
It had a lot of Christmas, but it could
he
have
was
used a little more.
probably too busy with like the Naked Gun, but like Akiva would have.
Akiva Schaffer,
I
yeah.
think he would have done a great job with this. He did like the when they did the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie a few years ago. Like I feel like he could have lended himself to a Jonas Brothers project in a really funny way.
Well, let's see what Letterboxd thinks of it. There are plenty of reviews here for this movie. Some of the most popular ones. 5 stars. I understand Will Ferrell on deeper levels because I'm just like him when it's about the Joe Bros. 3 stars. Quote, this was a good one. I know Glenn Powell from Top Gun.
That was a funny line. That was very funny.
1 star. Why did this include the only one bed trope between the brothers? That's a good one. Little, oh God. Okay. And then finally, 5 stars. Kevin and Nick slut shaming Joe for an hour and 20 minutes, which is essentially what happened.
They're brothers.
All right,
That's
yeah.
what they do.
They
Not
got to.
justifying it, just what it does.
They know that's who he is. I think they call him the lovable tramp or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, you got it's. I know I'm guessing for spoilery in this, but you got it's your fight.
David, I think you're still setting the tone.
Yes, not me.
I can't even believe. I have no idea.
I know there's no way you could guess the Jonas Brothers score. Because almost everyone I read was like 5 stars right there. Because it's the super fans are the ones who are making the funny posts.
I'm gonna guess it's like a 3.2.
Ooh, you're gonna go.
That's a good guess. I will just land on a solid 3.
Well, I'm gonna pick 3.1 then and split it.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
All right.
Fair
Might as well live in that zone. Okay, let's see. Oh, no direct hits today.
Okay.
The point goes to Garrett because we all overshot.
Dang.
It is a 2.8, though, so not very far
Okay.
off. Not very far off.
That's a good range for that movie.
Just a little bit off. Yeah, I think 2.8 is respectable.
Yeah. What does that do, David? Tell
Well,
me now.
that
Is
puts
it an
Garrett
early
at-
Christmas gift for Garrett?
That puts Garrett at 22. I am at 18. John's still at 14. So, I mean, we got 3 movies left after this.
We do.
3 more movies. So I can make up. What is that? 4 points. I can make up 4 points in 3 movies.
You can make
it's
up
possible.
4 points in 3 movies. It is, yes. This is still down to the wire.
All right.
I want the trophy back.
Well, we'll see about that. We'll see
my
who gets
trophy.
it for 2026 very soon. We've got more Christmas movies, holiday movies coming up for you guys this month, so be sure you subscribe to the show at YouTube, So Many Sequels, or on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get podcasts. You can go to SoManySequels.com and find all of our links. Go follow us on Instagram. Good stuff going on all around. Lots of movies coming out now. We'll talk about it, I'm sure, in the weeks ahead, but I was looking at Letterboxd most anticipated for 2026. There's some good stuff that we just haven't really talked about yet, I think, guys. There's some good stuff on that list. So
yeah.
all that to come. So SoManySequels.com. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.